Thanks for joining us this morning. Well, the world certainly needs more people like Christine Rice and Danny England are here. And it's all about these cats and animals in our community. You see, Christine, who's here in our studio but not doing the interview, because this is obviously emotional for her, set up something called Arden's Arc that gave animals a chance that normally wouldn't. So Danny's here to talk about it and basically tell you how you can get involved. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us again.
It's tough to talk about. What's going on?
It is. Well, the rescue's been around for about 10 years helping dogs with special needs and cats. And most recently, the real thrust has been cats and TNR in Baltimore. But times are tough. Adoptions are down, donations are down, and it is a nonprofit, and we rely solely on donations. So it's just become almost impossible to maintain at this point. The rescue still has over 20 cats and kittens waiting to be placed. It costs about $2.50 a day per cat. And the expenses are just really much higher than the donations at this point, so we're really at a crisis point.
Now we're looking at some video that we shot of Christine, who basically, when you mentioned TNR, is trap, neuter, and release, going into alleys in Baltimore, basically befriending these cats, taking them to the vet, getting them neutered, getting them all their shots, and then putting them back. So I would imagine that is really expensive.
Well, trap, neuter, return is expensive but very effective. But what we do also is so many of these cats and kittens are adoptable, and we don't feel they should live on the street if they can have a good home.
Right.
So that's where more expense comes in, because you're feeding and maintaining their routine vet care for long periods of time. And some of the cats have now been in the rescue for over a year, so it does start to get very expensive when you have a lot of adoptables. But we really strongly believe these animals deserve to have a home.
We're looking at some pictures of some cats that need home, and you brought some gorgeous cats in that are looking for a home. I know that Christine started this and named it after a dog that was special to her, that was special needs. I have to imagine that this has been very tough for her.
It's incredibly tough, and we're all so attached to these little animals too, and there are so many who need help, and we're at the point where we're having to turn down those calls, and she gets calls every day for animals in need. And we do take on some very, very crisis cases. Like we had somebody call and say, oh, this woman in the neighborhood is moving and she's handing out 2-day-old kittens like they're candy. So we had to go and round up this mom and her 8 kittens, and sure enough, they had all been given up and abandoned by this family. So they were reunited. They're all doing fine. The kittens weren't away from mom long enough to suffer any really serious harm, and they're all up for adoption. So the needs are just tremendous, and it's really hard knowing that there are so many in need that we can't help. We're just trying to maintain what we have right now and hope that we can find some way to boost things and get back on track.
Okay, so in the meantime, you guys say you can still make donations, you can still, adopt these great cats. What do people do? And if you're sitting at home, get a pen and a piece of paper, because we're going to put all the information on the screen.
Yeah.
What exactly do people need to do?
You can email ardensarc@aol.com. You can make donations via ardensarc.petfinder.com. You can also go there and see all these amazing little creatures that are available for adoption. You can send donations directly to 2910 on the Square in Baltimore, 21224. We're also looking at something new for us in that we're accepting sponsorships for cats. If someone has a home full of pets, can't take anyone on, but they'd like to help, and they can't foster, then maybe they'd like to sponsor a cat, and they can send donations, and that will take care of the food and medical care for a particular cat or a number of cats. We'll send pictures and updates. We'll let you know when they get adopted, and that way you could sort of be an adoptive parent but not have to take another pet into your home.
Well, Danny's been a volunteer, and Christine has really orchestrated this whole thing, and this is a great opportunity to give back. So we'll put that information on our website if you missed it. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for everything you've done. It's been great.
Thank you for having us, and we hope that, some people will stand up and help us stay alive right now.
2 people can't do it.
We're trying.
Do something, and these are great cats, and they'd be great for somebody's home. Jamie.
Man. All right, when it comes